Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's a weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, June the 8th is Betty Picnic Day. It's also Global Hip Hop Day. Heidi's going to be celebrating that. Jelly-Filled Donut Day. That sounds like something I would celebrate. National Best Friends Day. National Upsy Daisy Day. Thomas Paine Day. World Brain Tumor Day. Ew. World Doll Day. National Outlet Shopping Day. Heidi would love to celebrate that one.
Yes, I would.
And National Best Friends Day. Sunday, the 19th of June, is Day of Reciprocation. Coral Triangle Day. International Dark and Stormy Day, National Donald Duck Day, National, what else do we have here? It's Wine and Dine Day and National Sex Day. So I bet the one comes after the other, most likely. And then National Cancer Thriver Day, Writers' Rights Day, Race to Unity Day, Right to Your Father Day. All of those things happening on Sunday. And I'm excited for my guest today. I'm going to be visiting with Chris Mazzilli. He is a very, very cool dude. He's owned a comedy club for years, given many comics like their first chance to make it big. So he's worked with like every big comedian you could possibly think of. And now he's got a new program called Downey Dream Cars, where he's working with Robert Downey Jr., and they're doing a really fun show. We'll chat all about that coming up.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A recent study of 2.4 million people found that, believe it or not, being online might actually improve your well-being.
I totally disagree with this.
Published in the Journal of Technology, Mind and Behavior.
By Facebook.
Claims to include more geographic diversity than most previous studies, which might make it more accurate, according to them. They've tended to find the opposite in other studies, by the way. It was found that people with internet access scored 8% higher on measures of life satisfaction and contentment with their social life.
How many studies have we seen that have said the exact opposite
According
of
to this,
this?
every other study disproved this, but they proved that, by having more information, they proved that it is true. It says that it gives you more sense of purpose than people without the internet. And that is about the same positive impact people get from walking and in nature and talking. So like talking with people and walking in nature, you get the same satisfaction there as you do being on the internet. I don't know about that.
I don't know
All
about
right.
that
Surveys
either.
and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signing, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know there's a flower that smells like chocolate? Yeah.
I did not, but I would love to have
Native
some.
to Mexico, this dark red flower is not edible, sadly, but it is called the Cosmos astrogenuneus, or the chocolate cosmos. I might have said that other part wrong. I do have it spelled out. It's in the show notes for today. You can take a swing at it if you'd like.
I would love to have some of those.
That would smell good. You can find it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. The line where the sky meets the sea is calling Moana once again. Disney released the first trailer for the highly anticipated sequel, and several of the big names are going to be back. They're going to reunite 3 years later as Moana says takes a call from the ancestors to sail to new skies and reconnect the people across the entire ocean. So it's not going to hit theaters until November, but if you'd like to see the trailer, I've got a link to it in the show notes. Nickelodeon has revealed a star-studded list of nominees for their annual Kids' Choice Awards. 6 nominations for Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Miley Cyrus, Beyonce each get 4, And the list goes on and on and on. If you would like to see this, Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards will premiere on July 13th. That's when the premiere will air. And then they have it a few other times if you want to watch it later. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. I think this is kind of fun. 47% of men have accidentally said, I love you. I wonder who they said it to.
That's
I
sad.
remember you said it to a guy you worked with one time.
I say it to everybody.
No, but
though.
you didn't mean it like that time. You were like, okay, love you, talk to you later. And I was like, did you just say I love you? You were like, no, I didn't say that. I'm like, yeah, you did. You even called him back. You're like, did I just say I love you? And he was laughing. He's like, yeah.
I say it to everybody.
It was like 15 years ago. It was so funny. So yeah.
The other day I said it to somebody that we've known for a little while now, and he didn't say it. And John goes, did you notice he didn't say it back? I said, he will.
Yeah. She's very much huggy, and she hugs people. We've got a friend that doesn't like hugs, and now now
he comes to me and gives me a hug.
He will come over and get a hug,
Yeah.
and I actually reach my hands out. He goes, are you kidding me? I'm like, I just thought I'd check. You never know. All right, a 5-year-old boy born with one hand has become the youngest person ever to be fitted with a bionic arm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Jordan Marotta was left in a state of pure joy when he received his Iron Man-themed hero arm prosthetic last month.
I love that.
Heartwarming footage shows how just hours later he was able to whiz around on a scooter while holding the handlebars with the arm's lifelike grip.
Totally life-changing.
His mother, Ashley, had approached Open Bionics, which makes prosthetics, when Jordan started questioning why his hand had not grown back. She was told that he was likely too young to receive one of the products, but then they let Jordan try out an arm just in case. They later agreed, you know what, we're going to fit him with a hero arm at their offices in New York City 2 years earlier than most youngsters. Of his new mechanical limb, Jordan says, really, it's fun and it's cool. How cool is that?
That's really cool.
I've got a link to it if you want to read the story. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit right now with Chris Mazzilli, and he is a gentleman who's launched a bunch of comedy careers and has helped a whole lot of comedians in his years, and now he's doing something really cool, a Max original series, Downey Dream Cars, and you teamed up with Robert Downey Jr. Tell me a little bit about how this whole program came together, because this is a really cool program, but how did this thing get put together like this?
First, thanks for having me on. It's a crazy story. So I met Robert's dad 20 plus years ago. I was to produce a film for him that never got made, but we stayed friends. So I met Robert over the years and became friendly with Robert. Fast forward about 3 years ago, we had built a really cool 73 Ford Bronco for a producer in New York named Jay Peterson. He was driving in the Hamptons. Robert's producing partner saw it and said, oh my God, I love this thing. Who built it? Will this guy talk to Robert? So Jay said, yeah, I'll connect you with Chris Mazzilli. He's my car spirit guide. He actually designed to help me build this vehicle. I'll connect you guys. So I got on the phone with Robert, and Robert's like, Mazzilli, because I didn't even know that you restore these cars. Can you help me modify my cars in an eco-friendly way? And that's how the whole thing started. So I said, yes, I can do that. I said, and what's your intention with them? He said, I want to, fix them and sell them, use the money to fund my charity. So I said, look, you probably should do a sweepstakes. I think it would raise more money, and we should do a TV series to support the sweepstakes, because I think people will really be interested in these builds. and what we're doing. So that's how the whole thing came together.
I love that. And I love the way you think. Rather than just, hey, we can do this and we can raise a little money, you're like, or we could do this and raise a lot
Let's
of
go
money.
big.
I love that.
Listen, the best part about it, John, is that you could win one of his cars now. If you go to rdjdreamcars.com, the last 2 cars, which I think are probably the best in the entire collection, my personal opinion, 1965 Chevy Corvette and a 1972 VW bus. Both awesome builds.
I love that. I'm on the website right now, rdjdreamcars.com, and it's for Robert Downey Jr. So if you're going, how am I going to remember all that? It's rdjdreamcars.com. And the sweepstakes is going on now. When is this done? So how long do people have? Do they have to do this today, or they got a couple of minutes?
No, so, I mean, listen, sooner the better, but the vet drawing ends on June 13th. The bus drawing ends on July 16th.
Nice. So you got a little bit of time, but don't mess around. And if the cool thing is, if you go on there now, you can check it all out. And I'm looking at some of these vehicles on here that you've done in the past. There are some really fun vehicles that you guys had a chance to work on.
Oh yeah, no, it's been awesome. Total labor of love. I'm fortunate to do what I do. Got a great crew at Dream Car Restorations at the shop. It's out in Plainview, New York. Guys do amazing work. I'm blown away by what they can do.
Now, your career has been a real fun career because you've had a chance to do a lot of fun stuff. Growing up, did you realize that you were going to get to do all these fun things? Because I look at all the things between Gotham Comedy Club and now doing this program and helping raise money for a good cause. This looks like you just have a blast.
I do. I'm blessed. I'm not going to lie to you. And I learned something from my father a long time ago. We were in the food business. My dad had a supermarket when I was growing up, and he didn't want to be in that business. He actually worked for Chevrolet at the time and wanted to be in the car business. But his father became ill, and he went to the family business. And I'll never forget it. I was about 14, 15 years old. My dad and I were packing out apples one day, and he said, "Son, listen to your father. I'm going to give you some advice." He said, "Figure out what you love to do in life and then find a way to make money at it." And it always stuck with me. So, the things that I do, I absolutely love. I never feel like, oh my God, I got to go to work. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, it's cool. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And you and your brother own Gotham Comedy Club since 2005. And the thing that's cool, you get to work with some of the biggest names in comedy. When people think stand-up comedy, the people they think of are people that are in there performing, Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Gaffigan, again, some of the hugest names. And that in itself would be awesome. If it was just that we were talking about, that you'd be an interesting guy to chat with. But then Robert Downey Jr., this Dream Car project and this TV show and this sweepstakes, I'm like, you've got so many fun things. I could probably talk to you for 3 hours, but we don't have that much time.
Yeah.
So if people would like to find you online, if they'd like to follow you, if they'd like to be a part of what you're doing, where's the best place for them to go?
Well, the website for the shop is cmcdreamcars.com. And, on Insta, I'm Mazzilli on Cars, my last name, and then ONCARS.
Nice. I'll throw some links to that. And then
Yeah.
rdjdreamcars.com is where you go for the RDJ Robert Downey Jr. Dream Car Sweepstakes. If you're interested in that, again, I'll throw a link to all of this in the show notes. Chris, thank you for your time. I appreciate it a bunch.
Thanks, John.
Absolutely. Again, Downey Dream Cars with Robert Downey Jr. I'll throw a link to all of that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dogs can understand up to 250 words and gestures. Yeah, we have a couple of dogs, and they can definitely understand. They can understand things like walk. They can understand things like treat. Heidi has one. Is a dog on your lap?
She's
over
on
there?
my lap. Yes,
And
she
so
is.
I'm just trying to think of what words I can say without getting her too riled up. I'll just move on. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Goats have rectangular pupils. I've seen that before in
I've
photos.
seen that too.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Jellyfish are considered biologically immortal. They don't age and they don't die unless they are killed. Jellyfish.
Oh,
That's kind of
that's
crazy.
cool.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are no ants in Iceland, Antarctica, or Greenland. Yeah, they're ant-free. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It is the skin of the plums and prunes, not the fruit, that provides the laxative effect. The skins do that.
I didn't even know that they had laxative
You didn't know that?
effects.
Oh, I knew
No.
that. Now, apparently you don't eat a lot of plums and prunes. Several
eat
fun
any
facts.
prunes, but I've never had a problem with plums, I guess.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. 29% of men admit they do this almost every day while driving. What is it?
Eat.
No, talk to their car. I've had to do that before.
You don't.
I don't now, but back in the day when I had cars that weren't so great, I'd be like, come on, man, just get me to work. Get me to work, and I'll give you a bath. I'll take you to the car wash if you just get me to work. All right. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at mintervention.com. That's mintervention.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Dubai scientist and filmmaker Hashim Al-Ghali is aiming to make available the concept of transplanting a head onto a donor body for those suffering from cancer or paralysis.
Yikes.
It's a little bit weird. It's a far-fetched thing. But his recently released video explains the tech, which he calls Brain Bridge. It's getting plenty of attention. The proposed head transplant process involves attaching a patient's head onto a brain-dead donor body with the goal of preserving the patient's consciousness, memories, and cognitive abilities. He feels that the procedure could be available within 8 years, thanks to the integration of advanced robotics and AI. His 3D animated promo clip, which feels like a movie trailer, shows two robotic surgical machines with human-like arms and hands removing the head from one patient and placing it onto the body of another. They think that the body could last several hundred years. The brain could if they just kept changing out the bodies.
I don't like any of that.
I don't know if I'm ready for any of this, but
No.
I've got a link to the story if you want to read it, and you can see the video. The video, all of that, in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Recently on X, formerly known as Twitter, a guy by the name of Mark Hicks said, "What's the least expensive thing you own that's made the most positive impact on your life?" So these are all things that people spent money on and are like, I'm really happy to have this. So one was a 10-foot phone cord, so they could plug their phone in and charge it while they're sitting.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
makes sense. Bidet. There's, again, that's
yes,
one of the things
that's
that,
one that we have invested in.
the strap that keeps your bed sheets tight. They said, why did I not have these sooner? They're only like $5.
Yeah.
Somebody had a photo of a cat, and they said, Sue, I found her at a Wendy's dumpster 7 years ago. We've been best friends forever. Blackout film from my bedroom window. My sleep quality has increased significantly, which that's kind of cool. I never would have thought to do that. Yeti coffee mugs. Wait a minute. You're not a Stanley Cup? It says, I have a $1.49 wooden back scratcher from Walmart. It's the best. Weighted blanket is another one. Skechers slip-ins. And somebody on here said the Scrub Daddy. So there you go. All of those, if you're interested in things that, according to them, minimal investment made them very, very happy. I love that. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. This comes from a movie called National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
This was such a great movie.
It was a funny movie. He says, I learned a long time ago that worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Write that down.
Such a great movie.
That was Ryan Reynolds. That was one of his first big break. He had been in things before that, but I remember when that movie came out, that was like the new Ryan Reynolds. That was the launch of that career that has been amazing for him now. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's the headline. Preschool teacher becomes a lifesaver for a former student. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Remarkable act of kindness and selflessness. A preschool teacher donated a portion of her liver to save the life of a former student.
Gosh.
Yeah. The young boy suffered liver damage at birth, had been facing ongoing health challenges that culminated in a recent diagnosis of end-stage liver disease. So, isn't that crazy?
That is the greatest story
Ezra,
ever.
one of 8 children in the family, was adopted when he was just 6 months old. Says when we were first called about this precious boy, the very little information given included the statement, he'll probably need a liver transplant within a year.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she said, we said yes to him, not knowing how long he'd stay, his mother said. In January, Ezra and Karen traveled to New York City, where the doctors confirmed that he was in desperate need of a liver transplant. By February, he was approved to be placed on the list. Unbeknownst to the family, the teacher, preschool teacher, had learned of the condition in March and immediately took action, saying, hey, let's see if I'm a match.
Oh my
As it turns out,
gosh.
she was.
What a
And-
wonderful lady.
Yeah, there's a sign here that says, hey, Ezra, would you like to share my liver? Check 1. Yes? No.
Oh, cute.
That's pretty cool. I've got a link to this story, and both of these people look like wonderful, amazing, awesome people. And I love that. I think that is really, really cool. And I know people who have put themselves on the donation list where they're donating, kidneys, donating, some while they're still alive, living
Right.
donors, and others who they're saying, hey, when I'm done with all this stuff, you guys can have it. I think that's really cool, and it is such a great, amazing, wonderful thing to do. So if you wonder more about that, I'm sure if you reach out, you can probably find all the details and see if there are needs in your area.
We're both donors for after we're gone, but
Yeah.
it takes a very, very special person to say, go ahead and cut me open while I'm alive
Yeah.
and take what you can use. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
It really is. I've got a link to the story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.